Greetings, brothers and sisters. So I noticed this yesterday. Biden is at NATO, where and I think MSNBC, I was watching it, and someone was saying, this is where he's really relaxed and in his element. And he came out and he was, jogging like he does and getting all happy with some of the other world leaders, European leaders. But you can see it says NATO here and OTAN here. I got a bunch of other stuff to get to, funny stuff, I think, but can't remember. But this is interesting. Start off here.
Nothing more to report. With regard to food shortages, yes, we did talk about food shortages. And it's going to be real. The price of these sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia. It's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well.
So food shortages are coming to a grocery store or Walmart or Costco near you. You heard it right from the Magoo's mouth. And it's Putin's fault because of these sanctions that he put on them, right, that are going to starve children in Russia, because that's what happens when you put sanctions on a country. Poor people and children starve. And so, like this, that's what this effort did. And sanctions just shouldn't be given, right? Sanctions don't hurt the leader as much as it hurts the people that live there. But now these sanctions are not only going to hurt the children in Russia, but also children in Europe and America as the inflation unfolds. And, so there's that. That's JoJo Magoo. So Kanye, I thought he only had a 24-hour ban on Instagram. Or maybe it's longer, I don't know. Or maybe he's just boycotting it. But I got a bunch of sort of Bob Saget stuff here. So start off with Bob Saget's widow, Kelly Rizzo, stands by autopsy report amid claim he fell ill. Bob Saget's widow is standing by medical examiner's report after a crew member claimed the late comic did not feel good the night he died. The records released tell the entire story, that is. You mean the ones that were released or the ones that you blocked from being released, right? If they tell the entire story, then why don't you release all the records? Why did you petition a judge to block records that you say there's, the whole story's told by the records that are already released? So let's get back to it. The records released tell the whole story, that is. Bob passed away after a fall hitting his head in his hotel room. The Saget family's attorney, Brian H. Bieber, they got a Bieber, said in a statement to Page 6 Thursday on behalf of Kelly Rizzo. Now that the medical examiners and police department's records have been released after their respective thorough investigations, the Saget family would appreciate privacy to mourn in peace. It's only speculation that he fell and hit his head. It says that in the report, and then many people, professionals, including people who know about brain injury and things like that, doubt what's happened, right? Doubt that that's legitimate. We saw that woman talking about how he felt sick beforehand, and he was having COVID, couldn't hear, needed the speakers to be turned up. There he is with his pal there, his wife, Kelly Rizzo, who looks like one of his TV daughters. I forget her name, the middle one. To add to that, we have some Dave Coulier news. The unfunny, the guy who's supposed to be a comedian on the show, right? Dave Coulier celebrates 2 years sober with a photo of drunk injuries. So here's the, Dave Coulier here. Now, Dave Coulier was the only one I didn't believe was in rehab ever, but here he is. This apparently happened to him because he fell down and he was drunk. He said here, I could make people laugh until they fell down. In this picture, I was the one who fell down. Wait a minute. This is fake news. Dave Coulier made people laugh until they fell down. In what reality? Like what person laughed so hard at one of Dave Coulier's jokes? In this picture, I was the one who fell down, not because I was playing hockey or doing the things I love, like chopping wood or doing construction, golfing, fishing, and flying airplanes, I was hammered and fell going up some stairs made of stone. Much like JoJo Magoo falling upstairs, right? JoJo Magoo, one of the few people who fell upstairs. This guy also is rumored to be the object of Alanis Morissette's "You Ought to Know," because he was dating her when she was like 15 and 16 years old, and which he now realizes was abusive. And so he was the only one who hadn't gone to rehab. And so if you think about Jodie Sweetin is the one that she looks like. If you think about all the other cast members, his two male counterparts, John Stamos and Dave Coulier, have had, addictions, has had substance abuse issues, and had to go to rehab. And the three girls all had to go to rehab, four of them, including the Olsen twins. And so, these childhood stars and the adult stars of this wonderful show, Full House, and, they got a jailbird in Lori Loughlin, right? So Full House now has a dead Bob Saget, Lori Loughlin, who had to spend time in jail because she had a couple of dummies. She raised a couple of dummies. It's got John Stamos, who was in and out of rehab multiple times. This guy, Dave Coulier, who's been a drunk his whole life, and after he abused Alanis Morissette, and then you have the three girls. Jodie Sweetin married, I believe, 4 times or 5 times, and she was in and out of rehab and had multiple drug issues, as did the Olsen twins. And then the girl who's supposed to be a Christian, whatever her name, I forget at the moment, but she was bulimic. She had eating disorders. And so they were all left up. Here they are, right? Here's the whole cast, all these guys, right? There's John Stamos, drug addict. Dave Coulier, drunk. Bob Saget dies mysteriously. Lori Loughlin, she went to jail. There he is. Jodie Sweetin, and she was, the worst of the worst in terms of her drug addiction. Bob Saget ends up marrying a woman who kind of resembles her. The Olsen twins, they had their, issues, and they're just really weird. And Candace Cameron Bure, that's her name, she was in rehab for eating disorder. And so it's just happy times. Dave Coulier's Full House co-stars support him after sobriety reveal. Dave Coulier says he's been sober for more than 2 years. My heart is no longer closed. Come on, bro. You had such an open heart. Here he is there.
How awkward is that for you? The position that I put you in, how awkward is that for you?
It's okay. Don't even worry about it. They're like my...
It's okay. Don't even worry about it. This guy's so phony nice, right? Just up with people annoying. The most annoying person on Full House, a show with Bob Saget and John Stamos.
My family members, they really are. So it's like talking about one of your nieces or, your brother or your nephew or something. So ask away, all I have is answers that I know. I can't really, I wish I had some real dirt for you, but.
Full House and Fuller House were just pure dirt, right? Hollywood is pure dirt. I wish I had some dirt for you, but it was a clean show of addicts and, offenders and jailbirds and, creeps and Bob Saget, right? Who was all of the above.
There really isn't a lot. They're just really outstanding, sweet people. So what can you say?
Yeah, what can you say? Can you say something funny because you're a comedian? I would say one thing that's funny.
Well, you did the show for so many years, I can't imagine, and no one seemed to leave, so it seems like everyone had to have been pretty sweet to each other around that time.
Or they were B-list actors that had no other jobs that they could get, and so they took the money and the fame because they didn't have any other options in Hollywood.
Yeah. I often refer to the kids on the show as my kids because Mary Kate and Ashley were 8 months old when we started.
Yeah, that's kind of like your kids.
Jodie Sweetin was 4 and Candace was 8. So we were there together 5 days a week. And, You know, we would finish. Here's the weird thing about Full House: we would finish our work week, and then we would all hang out with each other on the weekend. How sick is that?
That's pretty sick that you hung out with a 4-year-old, a 6-month-old, and an 8-year-old on the weekends after working with them all week that weren't your own kids, and with Bob Saget and John Stamos. Like, look how weird is that? Listen to this thing, right?
Finish. Here's the weird thing about Full House: we would finish our work week, and then we would all hang out with each other on the weekend. How sick is that?
Even Bob?
Everybody.
Everybody, like, how weird is that?
It's like, it seems like he wouldn't want to hang out with kids anymore based off of his
Not him. He loved those kids.
personality.
No, Bob's one of the sweetest guys you'd ever want to meet, to be quite honest.
Now, we had
He's the sweetest guy you ever want to meet. So when he wasn't hanging out with these young children and Bob Saget and John Stamos on the weekends, after working all week with them, you know, and their families. I mean, these kids had families, right? They weren't getting some time to spend with their families. But when they weren't doing that, they were stripping in front of them.
Yeah, kids, a big deal. I'll give you a red gummy bear. Okay, you got it, dude. Yeah. So it was
You like to give them red gummy bears.
challenging at times. We, the three of us, me, Bob, and John, we got in trouble a lot from the moms because
They got in trouble with the kids' moms, and then they hung out on weekends.
what we didn't realize is that the kids are backstage and they have monitors in their rooms. So we're trying.
And so this is an ongoing problem that they just, every time they came into this, it was like that TV show Severance, where they came in and they would forget every time that there was monitors. I mean, every time, like they would get in trouble and they'd go, oh, I forgot about the monitors.
Trying to make the crew laugh and keep ourselves loose doing our scene. So I think one night it was late and we had this scene, we couldn't get it, where John, Bob, and I had to walk around this van and come out, and I said, let's just take our pants off. And, okay, all right. Yeah, let's take our pants off. So we walked around.
Because that's what you do when you're at work, and, you know, that's, flashing is, I believe, a felony.
Around from the van, and we're all standing there, and the crew's dying, and the producers, everybody's cracking up. So then about 30 seconds later, as we're, you know, slapping each other in the back, yeah, that was funny, we made everybody laugh. Here comes Jodie Sweetin's mom and Candace Cameron's mom, and Adria Later, who was, you know, she was our teacher for the kids. And they're all standing there, and we're like, oh, we're
Yeah, you just flashed these little kids that you're going to hang out with on the weekend.
in trouble. We did it again. It was my
We did it again.
idea to take our pants off. Sorry. The kids are backstage, you guys. Please keep your pants on.
And they would go get drunk and hang out with the cast on the weekend. Just one more side note. So the girl on the left is Jodie Sweetin, and the one on the right is Kelly Rizzo, Bob Saget's wife. So Jodie Sweetin is 40 and Kelly Rizzo is 42, but it's like 1 year and 8 months age difference. And so they look alike, and they have similar mannerisms and personalities. I had just watched a video when I was making all these Bob Saget videos. The day before, I was watching a video with an interview between Bob Saget and Jodie Sweetin, and then another one came up, and it had his wife Kelly Rizzo, and I thought it was Jodie Sweetin again. I'm like, oh my God, they look a lot alike, and they're very similar in the way they present themselves, similar personality types, and that's just weird, right? I mean, you know, it's a very odd type of thing to do, to marry somebody, and it seems like Bob Saget's closest to Jodie Sweetin. She's the only one of the cast that showed up for his roast, for example. And, you know, she had that segment where she talked about Bob Saget always being dirty. This is Jodie Sweetin at Bob Saget's roast.
But he still was very dirty, you know, his comedy and everything. I definitely grew up around, you know, some things that children should probably not hear, but that's okay.
You been on Full House?
Oh, yeah, oh, definitely. That people were, like, shocked. They're like, oh, my God, so how was it when you found out Bob had a dirty sense of humor? I'm like, I don't know, I've always known that. Like, it wasn't a shock.
She's always known that because, you know, they were taking off their pants, and Bob Saget was pretending to have sex with a rubber doll that was a stand-in for the Olsen twins. I mean, you know, she always knew Bob was dirty because there was all these things that we know that went on, and there are probably things that we don't. Plus, they hung out on weekends after working together because they couldn't get enough of each other. And then he married one of her, her look-alike, right? Years later. I've done enough Full House and Bob Saget videos for a lifetime. I would like to move on. There's still some stuff coming out about this. There's nothing going to, anything that's going to be significant that they're going to reveal later on. But, there is this. It's weird. Like, there's so many weird things about Full House. And the more you look into it, the weirder it gets, right? Just a twisted, weird, show. And everybody who was on it was negatively affected and just had, all these different types of addictions. And, of course, Bob Saget dying in jail time for, everybody on Full House was cursed with something. So this was interesting here. Carol Baskin dances to viral TikTok song that claims she killed missing husband. Now, my wife and I sat through that horrible Tiger King show. They've taken the video off. Used to be on TikTok. Let me see if I can find... So here's the dance that was formerly on TikTok.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him.
She's somehow trying to say no, she didn't do it.
Can't convince me that it didn't happen.
Well, that's just crazy.
Venom to tigers, they snacking. What's happening?
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
And so, what is going on? My ex was, reminded me of Carol Baskin. Like, when I saw the show, I was like, she's got a little bit of my ex in her, right? Very annoying, very similar personality and mannerisms. So I guess I should be grateful I was never fed to tigers. Britney Spears considered boob job after dad Jamie body shamed her. What? Britney Spears says she considered getting a boob job after years of allegedly being body shamed by her estranged father, Jamie Spears. It's crazy living in Los Angeles. I was thinking about getting a boob job. My boobs are fairly small. She wrote on Instagram, I mean, with the right bar, it's fine, but I was curious what a doctor would say. I lost 7 pounds in the last 6 months, and that's a lot for me, she noted. It's official part of the itty bitty titty committee. They shrunk, I don't know where my boobs went. Maybe they're with your marbles. Maybe if you find your marbles, you... Why don't you go look for your lost marbles and maybe they'll turn up. My dad always told me I was fat and being the heavy girl on stage wasn't fun. It was humiliating. This guy, he's a body shamer. Here's the post that's no longer there. Apparently she has taken it down. Let's go to, there's her Instagram post. I don't know. Anyways, let's, here she is. Here she is wearing a red dress. Let me sway back and forth. Here's a little blue-eyed Satan puppy for you. There I am swaying back and forth. Left, right, left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Smile, fake smile. Boom. There's the Satan dog again. Hey, it's my dog. There I am far away. Here I come towards you. Left, right, left, right. There's my belly. There's my dog. There's my dog. Dog needs some help. Sway back and forth. Kick my foot out. Walk towards you. Sway back and forth. Putting on new outfits. Sway back and forth. Boom, bum, boom, bum. Swaying back and forth. Walk towards you in a white overcoat. Nothing else. Sway back and forth. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. Sway back and forth. Do it again. Repeat. Rinse, repeat. Here I am walking forward again. Here's my puppy again. Back in the red dress. Back and forth, left, right, swaying, fake smile, fake smile, fake smile, my head, there's my hair, get closer, fake smile, look up, where's my belly, See my belly? There's my belly. There's my belly. There's my belly's gone now. There's my belly's no longer there. I wear a dress, way back and forth. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. There she is on the couch for some reason. Here we go. There's some dance moves coming. I'm going to go out on a limb, say that there's going to be some spinning here. Britney's a good spinner. Let me see. Let's go. Spin around, twirl my hair, spin around, smile while I'm spinning, smile with my hair, flip the head, does my hair, back down, back up, swirl the arms, back down, bend over, reach out to you, ha, smile, point up at the ceiling, Satan ears, devil ears, fake smile, point to the ceiling again, bend over again, whistle with my hair, there we go, flip my hair again, do that. Do those ones. Look at my weird arms. Look at my crazy arms. Look at my crazy arms. My arms are crazy. Oh, hide and seek. There I am. Peekaboo. Do my rock things. Yeah, I'm smiling. I'm jumping up and down. I'm spinning again. Spin around with my hair. Where are my marbles? Where are my marbles gone? Where are my marbles? There's my marbles. And I go down, up and down. Look at this with my hair. Look at this. Smile again. Feed myself. Do that moves with my hair again. Crazy hands. I got crazy hands. There you go. I'm going real fast again. Spin around. Double spin. Did I do this one already? Spin around. Jump up and down. Oh, I'm so crazy. I'm so happy. This is my happy arms. My happy arms touch my pants. I'm touching my pants. Don't know what to do with my hands. I'm feeling awkward. I'll touch my hands again. There I go. Give you one of those. Oh yeah. Hop up, raise the ceiling. Back down to the floor. Do that with my hands again, swirling around, wiggling thing. Where's my hula hoop? I wish I had a hula hoop. All right, just point at you because I'm crazy. Then give you the devil's horns and end it with the devil's horns. Boom. There you go. She's a party girl. Kim Kardashian dreams of starting a successful law firm. She might be smart. I think she's smarter than she lets on. But when you hear her talk, right, she is, she's gone after the Paris Hilton audience. Paris Hilton for years said she played a dope on purpose because that's what she was, told to do. And that she was a lot smarter than the character she created. I mean, she recently came out and said that. And the Kardashians have, worked on that same audience and that same character and have appealed to dopes and, dumbed down whatever message they might have. I mean, they made a lot of money. A couple of them are billionaires and the family's loaded from shilling for pimping out their merch and things, right? And so they're not stupid. They're not as stupid as they appear in their appearances on the show, but they're definitely dumbed down their message. And, I don't know if I guess she passed the bar. I think there were some headlines saying she was struggling to pass the bar. But, that's what makes them so unlikable because they've dumbed down their message. I don't know exactly how stupid they are, but, but they clearly are looking for a stupid audience and, whatever, right? There's her dad who represented OJ. So going back to this idea of food shortages, they've been talking about this before COVID, right? So there was this UN report, and I covered this before. They were predicting, the WHO, UN, they were predicting food shortages in 2020. It was like 2019, 2018. And so they're already talking about this before COVID hit, before the war with Russia. And, the economy, I mean, there was just all this evidence that the economy collapsed in 2019 because of the epic amounts of debt. It was going to collapse at one point or another. I talked about this video I made in 2014 when I asked God, I was went to sort of a prayerful mood, and I realized there'd be a point in time. I had been researching the economy, and I really never had a good economic mind. So I really had to put myself into it. And I had, I realized that our economy was insolvent, that the debt was so far out of reach that the assets could never reach the debt, and in a way that was, irreversible. And so I knew at some point this fact was going to have to be known by everybody. It was going to have, real ramifications. They weren't going to be able to fudge the books. there was like $2 quadrillion worth of debt. Like just that's the total amount of wealth. And the wealth was the debt because the debt is owned by somebody, right? And so people who are, a bank, when you're in debt to a bank or a person, they consider your debt their asset, right? And so there's there's $2 quadrillion. That's $1,000 trillion. A trillion's $1,000 billion. It's hard to even conceive of that, right? And so at some point it was going to be, they weren't going to be able to fake it anymore. And the answer I got back, overwhelming, when that was going to happen was 2019. So I did this video, 2019, the economic collapse, right? And then 2019 came and went. I was like, well, I'm glad that didn't. I was happy to be wrong, but unfortunately I wasn't. Then COVID kicked in, and it was clear that there was some sort of economic collapse that they were covering up for, right? And then what happened now with the war and all that. And so these economic sanctions were going to have devastating effects on the world economy. And so whatever else is going on, that's happening. And they're gaining control of crypto. There's all these things that have happened since this war and the stuff to do with COVID, right? And, there's effects that shouldn't have happened based in the cause, right? Russia went to war with the Ukraine. Didn't mean that the world economy should collapse and people should starve in America. But we knew at some point there was going to be a breakdown of the food system. There's 3 major systems that can cause an apocalypse, right? Apocalypse. I can't even say it. Can cause a breakdown in your civilization, a complete collapse. One is energy. So if energy goes, you can't harvest food, you can't ship food, you can't, energy goes, everything shuts down. You can't conduct business without energy, then there's no, people aren't on their devices. There's no Wi-Fi, all these things, right? And that sparks a complete panic. Plus, all the money's digital. So if energy goes, everything else goes. If the economic system, the money system goes, then everything collapses as well. And if the food system, you can't feed people, then the energy collapses, people don't go to their jobs, and the monetary system collapses, right? And people are going to riot if any of those things, not just riot, turn into a mob and go apeshit, right? So it's like the end of life as we now know it. And it looks like there's going to be severe food shortages, and that this is going to be, and we know what happened before when there was the COVID shortages, when people ran out and stocked up and all these things. And that's going to happen. It's coming. There's no reversing it. Jojo Magoo just said it, and he's blaming the sanctions, but it's something else, right? They're always lying. And, they're going to blame Putin. They're going to blame whatever. But there's something more to it. There's a whole great reset thing coming. And there's no stopping it. That's the other thing. Because we're assed out, right? We're broke. There's no... It's not even being broke. It's like the economic system has reached a maximum level of debt. If you could be the richest person in the world, and there's a point where the banks are going to cut you off, where you can't borrow any more money, right? You're so much in debt, they're like, all right, you're done. And that's our whole economic system. It's like our whole economic system has to go Chapter 11. And so that's, that was inevitable, but it's also the moral breakdown and how weak people are and how, it's just how crazy everyone is and how crazy the system has gotten. It's reached a breaking point level on morality, on, what people can take, on unnatural behaviors, on, just across the board. Everything that's bad, everything that's extreme, everything that's, weakness and depravity and lust and, just all the greed and the selfishness. It's like we've reached a level where it's, it's got to burst, right? And that's where we are right now. It sucks because we're 100% dependent on the system, and it means a drastic change in what we know, what we've always known as life here, and it's right on the cusp, right? I just did a long video on heartfulness, and it's very substantial. As in, I was really bummed out by the stuff to do with the new policies and things, the COVID stuff, and I just I just got bummed out, and I made a bunch of videos, and I just made sort of the concluding one. And it just, I read a bunch of these prophecies and just all of it, right? How, the heartfulness prophecies, and it's just the, the predictions that have been there for a while. They're there and I believe them, but they're foreign to me. Like I believe them, but I don't, right? Like I don't experience it. So I've never experienced something like this, and neither has any of you, at least in this life, what's going to happen. So it's there, yeah, okay. But now it looks like, yeah, it's really going to happen, right? You hear something and, like you have some prediction of the future. You get your horoscope read and, something's going to happen. You're like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think something's changed. Then all of a sudden things take another major turn and it's like, hey, it's really going to happen, man. It's really going to happen. It's really happening, right? It's really happening. That would be another good T-shirt. It's really going to happen. The only spirituality will save this world is Paramano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.